Myles, Coach Bateman talked about yesterday, back in the spring when you were out injured, you had some 3x5 note cards you were walking around with, taking notes on and stuff like that. What was on those cards, and do you still have those cards today, or are they in the trash?
Yeah, I still have. I keep them in my room. He kind of didn't like it at first, but that's kind of the way I learned. So I just had a note card, and whenever he would say something, I feel like it was very important. I'll write it down, and then on the back of them, I'll draw it. So like whatever the concept was, I'll write down what it is, and on the back I'll draw it. I'll just keep it with me. That's just how I learned best, and I could piece things together a little bit better than write it in a notebook. If I write it in a notebook, it'll just look like a book, and I don't really like books, so it'll be hard for me to just follow along and read it. So note cards found way easier, and I could bring them anywhere. So if I'm anywhere I need to be, if I have free time during the day, I just take it out, look at them. At home, it's easy to get to. I can keep them in my pocket, keep them in my bag, and they're always with me.
I think Coach Bateman's called you elite smart. What's your relationship like with him, and how has he kind of helped develop your game over the past year or so now?
I think he's definitely challenged me mentally, just knowing every position on the field. That's something I always wanted to do, but he's put the responsibility on me during the game to get everybody like where it's supposed to be. And when we're not, he'll come to me and kind of put it on my shoulders. So I think that's a big part, just the responsibility aspect of getting everybody lined up. So,
Myles, Coach Brown alluded to the fact that you were one of his favorite players to coach this year, and the bond you guys share. One, because of the player and person you are, but two, because he coached your dad. I know you posted on Instagram, and he posted. Kind of, can you talk us through what that relationship has been like, having him your final year, and the connection now that you and your dad share?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know what it was going to be like going into it, but the first day he got here, I kind of, my mind and everything was just at ease about just the stress that going into getting a new coach. He's been nothing but amazing. He brought fun back to the game for a lot of us, and I think that's big. College football is stressful. It can be stressful if you let it be, and your head coach is the one that normally gets on you the most, normally the one that you don't talk to the most, you don't see the most, but we see him probably more than just as much as we see our position coach, and he's just there. He's around. He'll come through the players' lounge. He's eating with us. He'll be in the lunchroom all day. I think that's just big, just having a personal connection with your players.
Did your dad talk a lot about him when you were younger, just about playing for him? And was that something that you knew much about?
He never said much about it, just because I never really asked about his coaches. I always asked about him as a player, his experience as a player. But when we were trying to figure out what the next move was to be after last season, he figured out, he heard Mac Brown was going to be back. He kind of called me and said everything was going to be cool, everything's going to be all right, just stay put where you are, and everything will fall into place. So right then I kind of knew that his experience was kind of good. I kind of asked about it, and just the confidence he had in him coming back here and what he could do and what he could change, I felt like that just stuck with me when he got here.
Myles, your time is coming to an end here, this week. For all the ups and downs that the program has had, to be playing your final game here, how can you put in words all you've been through?
Yeah, I don't know if I could put it in words. I've been thinking about it all week, trying to just get everything into a few sentences. It's tough, but it's definitely been a journey, something I've appreciated. Somebody asked me the other week, if you could do it all over again, would you go to the same place? And I definitely would. I think the trials and tribulations we've been through here only made me a better person and a better player, and I don't think I could have got that anywhere else. And just to be able to have as much fun as I had my senior year, I couldn't ask for anything better.
What does UNC mean to you, not just on the football field, but from a broader sense? Friendships, relationships, academics, the whole experience?
For me, the biggest part that I don't think I can replace is the people that I've met along the way, the friends that I've gained. I think they'll be lifelong friends, and I appreciate that because I don't think it's like that anywhere else. I talk to other players that go to different schools, and they talk about how they're not really close to their roommates or they kind of don't really connect with anybody else. But I have a close bunch of friends that I consider family, that I'll do anything for. So just to find people like that is rare, and I think UNC provides that for any football player coming in.
Has your dad been back at all? I know, Coach Brown's had a lot of former players come in and out of practices this year.
Yeah, he's back every weekend. He came to a few practices over the summer and over the what was it, fall. So yeah, he came back during camp to some of the scrimmages. So any chance he has to come back, he'll get back and see his old friends.
What can you tell us about Don Chapman? It seems like he's going to be starting alongside you.
Yeah, he's a very good young player. It's funny because he reminds me a lot of how it was just in terms of mentality-wise. He has all the tools to be a great player. It's just about putting it together for him. And I think late in the season, he's done a great job of putting it all together. Last game, he came out and he played the whole second half, and I think he was like third in tackles on the team. And he just played a solid game. I think his confidence went up, and I think he's become more confident. Just being able to control his side and communication-wise is becoming easier to him just to talk to him. I don't consider him as a freshman anymore, and I don't think he sees himself as a freshman. So I think that's a big just moving forward.
How hard is that as a freshman playing safety back there?
It's tough. I think safety's one of the hardest positions just because you have so much to worry about. You're going to be in the run fit. You're going to have to guard a slot receiver running full speed at you. Then you're going to have to take the load mentally in terms of getting your triangle where it's supposed to be. And then your eyes have to be in the right place. There's so much to look at when you're at safety. You're told to read your triangle in the box for run pass keys, and you have to look outside, play man, or you have to see where your corner is. Like, it's a lot to look at, and if your eyes aren't right and you make a mistake, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like most mistakes at safety end up resulting in touchdowns. So it's tough. It's definitely tough, and when you make a mistake, everybody sees it, and they know it's you. So I think just being able to keep his eyes in the right place and be confident no matter what happens.
Bateman called him, I think he said he was a tough kid from a tough place. Did he show up, with a special level of toughness that you don't see normally in freshmen?
I knew that he had been through some things. I actually hosted him on his official visit here, me and Zulfo with a few other guys, and I could just tell that he doesn't trust easy. And most people that don't trust easy come from tough places. He didn't really talk much. He didn't really say a lot of things, and when we got to open up with him, he kind of figured out we were genuine people, and he started to open up about just who he was and where he come from, and we saw that he was a tough guy, cool dude. So I think, what was the question again?
Did he show up kind of tough with a special level of toughness?
Oh yeah.
He
He's tough, yeah.
For all the close games you've been in this year, it comes down to the last two to be bowl eligible. Just talk about that. You got to get the last two if you want to be bowl eligible.
It's big. Senior night, big day. They're already big games just because of senior night and it's rival week. So just the added incentives to win, to make it to a bowl game is it's just like the first two games of the season. It's just like when we played Clemson, number one team in the country. They're big, no matter what name or who walks on the field. You gotta win them. So I think preparation and just being able to stress to everybody how big these two games are, just for the program moving forward and what we have for the bowl game.
How do you think you're gonna? I'm curious. Someone asked you before, and then after Mercer, how do you see yourself balancing emotions of this is the last time you'll run out at Kenan Stadium, but also having to stay focused that it's another game? Like it's two different things coming at you at once.
Honestly, I don't know if it'll hit me before or after the game. So if it don't hit me till after the game, I think that'll be best. But if it hit me before the game, I'll be good just to see the people that I came in with around me, with me, and just appreciating what's going on. I've spent my time here. I know my time's up. So just knowing that going in and knowing we have a job to do and try to get to a bowl game. So I think I'll be fine.
Myles, to focus on Mercer for a second. I know offensively they like to play two quarterbacks pretty often. From what you've seen on film, what are some of the challenges that come with kind of balancing, trying to stop, not only one quarterback but another guy that can come in and do some different stuff?
I think just knowing what each of them do well and knowing what the offensive coordinator tries to do with each one. They'll definitely have different packages for each quarterback, but I don't know if both will play. I think one got hurt not too long ago, but if they do, we'll adjust to it and we'll be ready.
Obviously, Sam Howell's on the other side of the ball, but in what ways have you seen him handle success, and being a true freshman? I think he's, 2 touchdowns away from breaking Mitch Trubisky's single-season record for passing touchdown.
He's probably one of the most humble guys, like humble and confident guys you'll ever meet. If you were just to walk through the halls and you didn't know what he looked like, you wouldn't think he was a starting quarterback, just how he carries himself. I think that's big, but at the same time, he's very confident. Right before the game on the drive in Miami, we had to get stopped to get him back on the field. He said, just give me the ball, just give me a shot, and we'll win. And I'll remember that to this day, and he drove the ball down the field and won the game. And after his emotions were still even killed. So he's the right guy to be in those shoes.
Did you, from the get-go, kind of see offensive players and your other teammates kind of buy in almost immediately to that sense of swagger and confidence that he presented?
Definitely. For me personally, I kind of saw it just the way the ball came out of his hands. It was a little bit different than everybody else's. But then, if you go into the indoor any time of the night, you can go 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Anytime you go in there, he's in there, and he'll have 2 receivers with him. So I think that was the biggest part. And no matter what time I went, almost 8 out of 10 times I saw him there too, where he was just about to leave, or he was just showing up. So I kind of knew then he was going to be special.
Also, can you speak on, I think Coach Longo said it yesterday about Antonio Williams' impact, in the locker room. I know it's not always shown up on the stat sheet in a crowded running back rotation, but how is he impacting the team?
Him as a leader and him as just a person that goes hard every day, I think it's big for the younger guys. And I think it's big because he's a senior and he has 2 younger guys that get more snaps and get more carries than him. And for him to come in with an attitude as if he's going to take the lead role, and he comes in, he doesn't complain. I've never heard him say anything negative about anybody else, any of the coaches, any of the play calls. He just comes in and keeps working. And that's tough, especially as a senior. Your last year here, and that's a testament to him because I don't think a lot of people couldn't do that. He's taken that role and he's ran with it, and I think that's big for the team and big for just the young guys.
All right.